So far we were talking about reduction of metal oxide, Ellingham diagram, Ellingham graphical representation. We were talking about the second step in the metallurgical process, extraction of the metal. We have completed. So by the reduction process, by using reduction process, so metal is extracted, isolated from the metal oxide. By using the reduction method, we were talking in the previous class, we were discussing about the reduction of the metal oxide. So second step in the metallurgical process we have completed. So now we are going to discuss about the third step present in the metallurgical process. Third step in the metallurgical process, that is refining techniques. So refining techniques we are going to discuss. So what is the need of this refining techniques? What is the importance of this refining technique? So by using the second method, extraction of the metal from the metal oxide will give the metal impure. Just it is 90% pure, above this 90% pure, but not 99.9% pure. If you want to get the metal 99.9% pure metal, if you want to get from the ore, so we must use the techniques, refining techniques we must use. Refining technique we must use. So what are the refining techniques? These refining techniques so can help us to get pure metal, 100% pure metal or 99.9% pure metal, so without impurities we say. So how we remove the impurities? So by using these refining techniques. So the refining techniques mean for what means? So to remove the impurities that are present along with the metal. So these impurities cannot be removed by the reduction process, and these impurities cannot be refined by the concentration methods, and these impurities can be only removed by the refining technique process we say. Refining technique process we say. So the third stage is said to be refining technique stage we call in the metallurgical process. So what are these refining techniques? Based on the property of the impurity, based on the property of the metal, so the refining techniques we use, these differ from metal to metal, these, so refining techniques will differ. And what are these refining technique? Number one is distillation. Distillation is the refining technique. Number two is liquation. Liquation technique we say. Number three is polling. So technique. And number fourth one is, I think the polling is not given in the book, but we'll discuss. And fourth method is electrolysis method. The fifth one is vapor phase refining technique, and the sixth one is chromatography technique. Chromatography technique we say. So these are the methods so that we are going to discuss. Refining techniques we say in the metallurgical principles, in the metallurgical process. So again I am repeating what are the refining techniques. So number one is distillation, number two liquation, number three polling, number four electrolysis, and vapor phase refining, so chromatography techniques. So these are the refining techniques. By using these techniques, will prepare or will extract 99.9% pure metal we can get. Okay, so now we'll start. What is this refining technique? Number one, the first one is distillation. So what is the meaning of distillation? Can anybody tell what is meant by distillation? Anyone? Prince, can you tell what is meant by distillation? Ravikant, can you tell what is meant by distillation? Answer to my question. Anybody? So, distillation is the meaning. What is the distillation means? Heating the metal or any element above the boiling point, such that to get the vapor, such that to get what we say distillate. So, in order to get the distillate, or so getting that what means vapor above the boiling point. When the impure metal, so metal like, what are the impure metals? So impure metal like zinc and mercury. So why only zinc and mercury? Because zinc and mercury will have low boiling points. Zinc and mercury will have low boiling points. Metals we say. If you want to get the pure zinc, if you want to get the pure mercury, what it will means? So take their respective impure metals of zinc and mercury, just heat them, so above the boiling point, heat them. Then, so you will be getting the distillate of zinc, distillate of mercury, and again what you do means, so in the distillation process, condense the pure metals. Condense them, so decrease the temperature, then you will get the condensation. So then you will be getting the pure zinc and the pure mercury you will be getting. So this metal is said to be what we call means distillation technique we call. Distillation technique we say. So zinc and mercury can be obtained by this technique what we call distillation technique we say. And so another second method. What is the second method means? The second method is liquation. So liquation is the technique. Liquation is a technique applicable to PB and tin metals. So PB and tin have low melting points. So this is also similar to distillation, but in this, so what we do means we'll select the one slope surface. On the slope surface, what we'll do means we'll select the impure lead or impure tin, and we'll be heating this. So wall, so means this will heat the impure lead or impure tin will be heating on this. So more than the melting point, then the metal only will melt up. So then it will flow. It will be flowing. The metal will be flowing on the slope surface. On the slope surface will be flowing. The melted metal will be flowing down. Here will be collecting the molten so metal like tin and lead. What is left over on the surface? So on the surface of the slope, residue is left over. That residue belong to the impurities. Impurities will have more melting point and more boiling point than the lead and tin. Then the tin and lead will be collected at the bottom here, and the impurities will be left behind. So this is the liquation principle. So is done where means on the slopey surface area. On the slope surface area, so this process is done, and this is applicable to lead and tin metals whose melting point is less than so compared with other metals we say. And this is the simple technique. Liquation, as the name itself speaks out, liquation means means making the impure metal into liquid form. The third method is polling. Polling. So this polling method is applicable to cuprous oxide and so titanium oxide purification. If you want to get the pure copper from the cuprous oxide, if you want to get the pure titanium from this titanium, copper and tin, then we should use the refining technique is that polling technique. So in this technique what we will do means, while heating this cuprous oxide and titanium oxide, heating at high temperature, while heating we use the long poles of green sticks we use. Green sticks we use, and these green sticks will be used for stirring of the molten cuprous oxide, molten titanium oxide. While stirring, what will happen during the stirring? The pole containing the green sticks will have the hydrocarbons. Those hydrocarbons will reduce the impurities, and then pure copper and pure what we call tin will get by the reduction process in the polling principle we say. So the molten cuprous oxide, molten this titanium oxide, when stirred with these green sticks, the green sticks will have the hydrocarbons. Those hydrocarbons will reduce the impurities present in the cuprous oxide, molten cuprous oxide and molten titanium oxide. Then we'll get the pure copper and the pure tin will be getting. So this is said to be what we call means polling technique we say, and this is also very simple one and very important technique we have. We'll get the questions where means on this. Fourth one is what we say, electrolysis. What is mean by electrolysis? Electrolysis is, electro means what? Current. Lysis means what? Breakdown. By using external current will break the molten solution of metal, or we can break the aqueous solution of the metal into the respective ions. Then the metal ion will undergo the reduction on the cathode. On the cathode, reduction will happen. On the anode, oxidation will happen. Now, I will take for this understanding of this electrolysis. By this method, we will get 99.9% of pure metal will get. That 0%, the rest of the percentage, 100% is not possible due to human error, mechanical error, so we can get. So what is the example we will take? So, extraction of copper from or refining of, I need to say refining is a suitable word here, refining of copper metal from blisters of copper. We were talking about blisters of copper. Can anyone tell what is meant by blisters of copper? You read the lesson. Blisters of copper. Anyone? No answer. Ayush, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
What is blisters of copper?
Small pieces of copper.
Blisters of copper. What is mean by blisters? When copper sulfide heated with the reducing agent at high temperature, so the sulfur dioxide gas will escape from the molten copper, pure copper. Then that copper is said to be freshly prepared copper having the blisters on the surface after cooling. That is said to be what we call means blisters of copper. The blisters of copper also not 100% pure. Still it has impurities. Inside. Internal impurities will be present. Those internal impurities may be nitrogen, sulfur, selenide, arsenic, antimony, even gold particles are also present in that. So that is certainly what we call means blisters of copper. So it is not pure copper, we say. So by using electrolytic refining technique, the blisters of copper can be converted to pure copper. We can convert by electrolytic refining process. What is electrolytic refining process here? So in this diagram you can see this is electrolytic cell. We have to make electrolytic cell. We have to construct, and in this, so we should take its solution. So metal solution is copper sulfate. What is a copper sulfate? Acidic copper sulfate solution we should take. Acidic copper sulfate solution we should take. Copper sulfate solution. Aqueous solution we should take. In this electrolytic cell, this is copper sulfate solution is taken, and in these two electrodes we have to put, one is anode, other one is cathode. What is the charge of the anode? Charge of the anode? Positive. Charge of the anode is a positive. Here is anode is taken. In this anode must be the impure copper, blisters of copper rod. Impure copper we should take. Cathode must be the pure copper we should take. This is if you compare with this, if you take this is how many 100 grams, it must be 10 grams, like that we should take. So this is the cathode, carries the negative charge here. This is the negative charge cathode. This is the impure copper is what we say. This is the anode. Both are kept where means in the solution of copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate's its own solution we have to take. And anode must be connected to the battery, positive terminal. Cathode is connected to the battery to the negative terminal to the tap key. Circuit is arranged like this. So this is the solution here, copper sulfate solution, and the tap key. If you press that tap key, what happens? Circuit is made. So then current passes into the solution. When current passes into the solution, what happens inside the solution? Anybody can tell what decomposition reaction will happen, and what electrolysis reaction will happen inside the solution. Copper sulfate solution will break up into copper plus 2 ions and sulfate minus 2 ions are produced. So now copper sulfate splitting into the copper plus 2 ions and sulfate minus 2 ions. So decomposition reaction will happen. So once the copper cupric ions are formed and sulfate minus 2 ions are formed, where these ions will be moving? Cupric ions will be moving. So then these cupric ions will be moving towards the cathode. Why the cupric ions will be moving towards the cathode? What is the reason? Because cathode is a source of electrons. Since it is connected to the negative terminal, cathode will provide. Now reaction at cathode, you can write Cu plus 2 ions will be moving to where means to the cathode, gaining how many electrons? 2 electrons. Then it becomes into Cu. So copper ions are reduced into the metal. Copper ions is reduced into the metal. So now here, cupric ions getting the reduction on the cathode. On the cathode, what is deposited means, so all the cupric ions are deposited on the cathode from the solution. After some time, what happens means in the solution, cupric ions deficit will happen. Less number. So unbalanced. Then here, while the cupric ions are moving onto the cathode, what do the sulfate ions will do there? What is the role of sulfate ions? The sulfate ions will be migrating to the anode, but do the sulfate ions undergo oxidation? They give up the electrons to the anode? What is the reason? So sulfate ions that are present in the solution, they resist the oxidation due to the reason sulfate is more electronegative. Sulfate ion is more electronegative, highly possessive of the electrons. They do not give up the electrons to the anode, but they will move to the anode. So, but voltage is continuous, voltage will be continuous in the cell. But what happened meanwhile, the sulfate is not giving the electrons to anode, but anode will experience more force. And then number 3, silver. So if you want to get pure zinc, pure copper and silver and gold, you can use electrolytic refining process. So this is electrolytic refining process of the copper. You must know the two reactions here. One is at the anode. What is happening at the anode? Oxidation. What is happening at the cathode? Reduction. So cupric ions get reduction on the cathode. Copper atoms will get the oxidation in the anode. Remember, so this is very important. So you get the questions from this. Is it fine, everyone? Clear? Electrolytic refining, any doubt?
सोडियम के लिए कौन सा
Yes?
सोडियम के लिए कौन सा यूज करते हैं?
So sodium, for the sodium also same electrolytic reduction process we use. Electrolytic reduction process we use, but sodium will get oxidation immediately, then will take care of, immediately will take out the sodium in order to prevent the oxidation. But electrodes, like this we won't use electrodes, we will use in different method. Sodium methods are different, but same principle. Electrolytic reduction method is the same principle, but will take care of this, means anode cathode will take different one. Innate electrodes will take. Okay, so this is electrolytic refining technique, fourth technique, and the fifth technique is a very important thing nowadays. The fifth technique is the most important compulsory question in the board paper on this fifth technique. This is what we call zone refining. Zone refining technique, very important. So for you, the board paper, you get the question directly, 1 mark question, 2 mark question, 3 mark question also you will be getting. This zone refining technique is applicable to boron, silicon, germanium. So boron, silicon, germanium. Can anybody tell what are these elements? Metalloids or semiconductors? What are these? What is our role? Now the total means here these are the silicon, germanium are the elements which are ruling the world. Computer world we say. So silicon and germanium, we need these in the form of pure semiconductors. Pure semiconductor form we need in the preparation of diode, transistors. For making the transistor diode, the semiconductors you might have studied N type and P type semiconductors preparation. So boron, silicon, germanium are needed. Even these are needed for the solar panel making also. So these elements importance is more and more, and nowadays without these elements our life is not that much easy. So for these, so these elements demand is more, and for this what? So but here if you want to get the pure semiconductor, we need pure semiconductor. So for the getting of the pure semiconductor, boron, silicon and germanium, so we must use the technique, zone refining technique we must use. So here is a diagram I have drawn. So for this, so zone refining. Imagine there is a impure germanium metal is there, impure germanium is there. Then in impure germanium, what we must do means we have to purify by using this zone refining technique. So how this process is carried out in the cylindrical chamber? In the cylindrical chamber, what we do means, so we create what condition? So non-availability of oxygen conditions will provide by filling this chamber with the helium gas, noble gas. What could be the reason why we have to provide the helium gas, noble gas? If you provide oxygen, they easily combine, silicon will combine with oxygen and germanium combine with oxygen easily, then metal oxide will be formed. So in order to overcome that process, what will be? Heating will be done in the presence of noble gases like helium, neon. Gases will be incoming when helium gas will go and helium gas will come out. Then next one, here I have taken in this. So if it is a germanium, you want means germanium. So germanium impure rod, impure germanium rod is taken in the chamber. So on the cylinder at the bottom and the top there are cylindrical wheels are kept. So these are nothing but what we say means induction coil wheels. Induction coil wheels we say. So these can supply the heat for this germanium rod. What are these? Induction coil wheels. They are mobile. They can move forward, they can move backward. There is a facility of making movement forward, backward like that. Okay, induction coil 2 are there and here is a germanium which is impure. So what we'll do means very simple. So this induction coil you should start from the beginning. So start heating this. So here on what principle does it work? The zone refining work on the principle of solubility of impurities or molten stage of impurities we say means. So solubility of the impurities upon heating. So molten stage of the impurities upon heating, on this principle it will be working, and recrystallization process followed by the recrystallization process. So this will be working. Now we'll discuss now. So if you start this induction coil from the beginning of this rod, so what happens means upon heating the impurities present in the germanium will melt up and molten stage. So molten stage those will be, and if you carry this induction coil forward along with the heating, the molten impurities will be moving forward and back. Here for example the molten impurities are brought here and back of this metal or germanium will be undergoing crystallization, recrystallization. First metal also will be heated and the impurities will get the liquid form, molten form. Then immediately what happens? Metal will be subjected to recrystallization. While metal is getting recrystallization, impurities will not be crystallized. Impurities will be still in the form of molten stage. They keep moving forward. Metal will be backward, will be getting the recrystallization. So then the molten impurities or soluble impurities will be moving forward and the metal will be getting the crystallization at the backward. As a result of this, what happens means all the impurities will be forwarding and all that purities will be getting the crystallization process. So after shifting these coils forward, and here we can get the impurities. Impurities will be collected, and this entire germanium will be the pure one. So we will heat this metal rod based on the zone wise. Hence it is said to be zone refining technique we say. Zone refining technique work on the principle called solubilities of impurities, molten stage of impurities upon heating we say. Right? So this is the zone refining technique. So we use for the purification of the refining of the germanium, silicon, semiconductor metals we say. Is it fine everyone? Clear? Zone refining. This process is carried out in the cylindrical chamber in which the noble gases are filled. what happens if you do this process in the presence of oxygen and air? Silicon, germanium combine with oxygen to form metal oxide. More impurities it will gain. So this is the zone refining. Is it fine, clear, understood everyone? Okay. Now next method I am going to discuss about this is vapor phase refining technique. Vapor phase refining techniques are classified into two. One is Mond's process. Mond's process we say, and number two is Van Arkel method. Van Arkel method. Two methods we say. Vapor phase refining technique is divided. This is also very important. The question you will be getting: what is the Mond's process? What is the Van Arkel method? So you will be getting the questions on these two things. Very important question you will be getting. What is the Mond's process we discuss? This vapor phase refining, as the name itself indicates, vapor phase. So what we will do in this? So vapor phase refining method, Mond's process is there, and this Mond's process. So what we'll do means we'll take the impure metal like nickel. This is applicable to nickel. So impure metal nickel has the impurities. Then it must be, nickel metal must be heated with the gas. What is the gas? You know, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide gas. So when this nickel, so he is heated with the carbon monoxide, we will get the compound name. What is the compound? Can you guess what will the compound name? Metal complex compound is nickel tetracarbonyl compound. With nickel tetracarbonyl compound, you will be getting this compound. Will have this compound will have the low boiling point, and at the low boiling point, easily it undergoes decomposition. And at around 330 degrees Celsius temperature or 350 degrees Celsius temperature, this reaction will happen. So, and imagine this impure nickel, only from this impure nickel, pure nickel will combine with this carbon monoxide. Impurities do not react with the carbon monoxide. Only the nickel metal react with the carbon monoxide gas, and the impurities will be left behind in the chamber. Only the nickel has the affinity for the carbon monoxide, not the impurities. So then what is the compound is formed here? Tetra nickel carbonyl compound is formed. Metal complex compound is formed. What is that name? Tetra nickel carbonyl compound is formed. So this is the metal complex compound, and this nickel tetranickel carbonyl compound, upon heating around 450 degrees Celsius temperature, upon heating it undergoes decomposition, and so when it undergoes decomposition, we will get the pure nickel will be getting, and the carbon monoxide gas will be getting here. Carbon monoxide gas will be getting. Carbon monoxide gas separated with the nickel metal, so pure nickel will get. So this process is called Mond's process, we say, where the nickel, pure nickel can be refined by using the Mond's process, we say. Very simple. Impure metal must be heated with the carbon monoxide to get the compound, volatile compound. This volatile compound, upon heating at 450 degrees Celsius temperature, then we'll get the decomposition process. In this decomposition, we'll be getting the pure nickel and carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide gas will be escaping from the chamber, nickel will be left over, and that is a pure nickel, we say. This technique is said to be what we call means Mond's process, we call. So next one is what method we have? Van Arkel method we have. So this is also similar to this Mond's process only, and this Van Arkel method, so useful for where means for the purification of zirconium. You know, zirconium is very important metal and used in the bulletproof jacket making. Very important, costly metal, we say zirconium. And impure zirconium can be converted into the pure zirconium by using the method called Van Arkel method, we say. And what is this? So Van Arkel method means the zirconium is the metal, so having some impurities like non-metals like nitrogen, sulfur, or so other impurities, selenium, whatever. So that impurities can be removed by heating the zirconium in the presence of iodine vapors. Impure zirconium must be heated where in the chamber containing iodine vapors at high temperature. At high temperature, so we must heat. After heating this, then you will get the compound is, so tetraiodo zirconium compound will be getting. This is also zirconium, tetraiodo zirconium is volatile compound. Easily it undergoes decomposition when it is subjected to electric discharge, or so when zirconium, tetraiodo zirconium upon around 18 degrees Celsius temperature, so when subjected to electric discharge, the zirconium will decompose into pure zirconium plus iodine gas. Iodine gas is separated, then pure zirconium we can get. So when this, upon heating this zirconium, so tetraiodo zirconium, then we'll get the pure zirconium will be getting. So by using arc method you can decompose it, or heating at 1800 degrees Celsius temperature you will get the pure zirconium. This is Van Arkel method, we say. Purification of zirconium. You will get one more question. What is Van Arkel method? What is Mond's process? So by using these techniques, what metals will be purified? So one is nickel, other one is zirconium. The metals can be purified by using these techniques. These are electro refining techniques, we say. The last technique is remained, that is chromatography. So we'll discuss in the next class what is meant by chromatography. I think one repeated attendance, 19 present means something. Who is absent today? All are present. Okay, so did you check the assignment column? I gave one worksheet. See, some students have not submitted assignment. I am going to give the marks to you, 10 marks out of 50 marks. 10 marks will be assessment only, assignment only. Those before this July 4th not submitted means then your assignment marks will go. 10 marks I will deduct, only for 40 marks I will give. So you can submit the NCERT exercise questions, for that also marks is there. I give the worksheet also, one worksheet, for that also marks is there. And before the July 4th, yeah, worksheet I kept in the at least first priority is the NCERT exercise questions. Finish the NCERT exercise questions first. So for that marks will be allotted, and worksheet also yesterday I think uploaded one worksheet, that also you can see, not there means so mail to me, then again I will write. So first complete the, yeah, some members not submitted the assignment not submitted, so then so you lose the marks. I am telling you, everyone submit. I need not to remind to all, whenever the lesson is completed, you must do the work and submit and upload. That is your job, right? So thank you all. Yes. Worksheet nahi hai. Then I will upload today. So then one simple worksheet, only 1 mark questions, very simple. Within 1 hour you finish from surface chemistry. Okay. So today I will upload afternoon. Yes.
Okay, sir. I was uploading my surface chemistry work. I was not able to do so. I have uploaded only a few pages.
Few pages, at least in the file section you have to upload. In case not possible means file section you can upload.
Uploaded in assignment section only, but only few pages.
Few pages. Okay. Okay. I will see. So and honestly, you should submit or else inform me. Any problem will be there means so that we can check because so submission is most important. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Right. Yes.